Welcome back to the Start Virtual podcast, and today we're pulling back the curtain on something that sets Start Virtual apart, which is our commitment to quality. When you hire a virtual assistant, you're not just outsourcing tasks. You're actually trusting someone with mission-critical parts of your business. And regardless of what that is, it may be appointment setting or admin tasks. It's always important that there is quality because quality can't be left to chance. That's why we've built a system here at Start Virtual that doesn't just expect excellence. It measures it, tracks it, and improves it. So let's dive into how we do that. And today, we have special guests, as I call it, the guardians of quality here in Start Virtual. You already know one of them, Quality Supervisor Ria. Say hi, Ria, to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
So Ria already joined. If you've watched our other episodes before, she joined one of them. And a very new face, our very own Helmer, our quality analyst here in Start Virtual. Say hi to everyone,
Hello.
Helmer. Awesome. All right. So today, guys, we will be talking about your kingdom, the quality kingdom, okay? And we're going to talk about the importance of quality in our virtual assistant service side of the business. So why is it important, guys, that there is quality in this line of work?
I've always been a believer that quality assurance is very important, right? Let's admit it.
Agree.
Even the smallest businesses have quality control just to ensure that they will deliver quality service, whether it's the food industry, whether it's, even the companies that create or build nails, the smallest nails or buttons, they have quality.
There should be a
control.
standard.
Exactly. So,
Right.
like what I've mentioned that earlier, I'm a strong believer of having a quality assurance or quality control in every business because it doesn't stop in measuring what's wrong, right? We don't stop there in identifying what has gone wrong. The goal is improvement and to make sure that any mistake that we might encounter can be closed and make the mistake part of growth.
That's true. A success story. Anything you want to add there, Helmer?
Well, when it comes to quality, this is actually our measure on how to be better as well. Right? We don't
Right.
just criticize what is wrong. We also celebrate what is our strength. Because through celebrating strength, we can encourage our VAs to do better.
Totally, I believe that as well. The connotation usually, especially in the call center industry, right, where we
Yeah.
came from, majority of us, and I worked with you guys and some other BPOs before. The idea about quality or QAs are usually operations and QAs will always have that conflict, and that happens often, yes, but they look at quality as like cops or police, but policemen or cops are not supposed to be looked at as something negative as well because they're enforcing the law to ensure that there's peace and order, right? And
Yes.
same way, the quality specialists like you guys are ensures that, well, the business is safe, the clients are safe, and the VAs themselves are safe. That they follow standards, that they follow protocols, that they follow policies. And because sometimes one wrong move can actually cost you your job, cost us our business, depending on the actual mistake, right? So I totally agree that the quality is really a very important element or KPI that we look at with our VA services. And you're right, Helmer. It's not just about finding what's wrong or what to improve on, but it's also celebrating the strength because we don't want that to go extinct, right? The good stuff that they're already doing, we don't want that to be replaced with a negative behavior or quality defect in the future, right? And agree with you as well, Ria, that it's more an improvement versus just finding faults or finding blames. Our goal is to improve everyone. That's exactly how everyone should look at your QAs, guys. And thank you for changing that mindset and for providing that level of support to our operations team as well. All right, so let's talk about our actual audit or quality process. Let's start with our appointment setters. So can you guys tell me more about how that works?
I'm sure Hilmer can definitely describe
Yes.
how it works because he's doing that every day.
Oh, yes, the master of appointment setter call audits. So yeah, go ahead,
So
Dilmer.
let me start with, well, actually, every week we or I or the QAs review at least 2 random calls. We evaluate tone, script adherence, if they have qualified leads, and most especially if they are probing effectively, and if they are handling objections, because those are the most important things when it comes to cold calling, right? We always encounter objections. We also we use a
Okay.
scoring system from our call quality compendium. This is a standardized guide that we ensure every VA is measured fairly and consistently.
I love that. Sounds like it's very structured, right? Because
It
it's
is.
hard to just audit without a form, a score form, and just base it on your own point of view or opinion, right? Because if it's just your opinion, every person has a different opinion. So there should be a standardized way of auditing. Can you share more about that, Ria, as well?
Well, when we started building the call quality compendium, it's not just the QA's mind who worked on it. It's a collaboration of the brilliant people here in Start Virtual. So we started with you, Daryl, when we were starting Start Virtual. With the
No.
people from operations, we definitely have weekly call calibration session. And the goal is not just to listen to a certain call or a specific call and find out what the VA did wrong, but to make sure that we can also not focus on the VA improvement itself, but we also want to see how we can improve our quality systems.
There's a lot that has changed, and our compendium has evolved since
That's right.
day one. Actually, when we were starting, we didn't really have a compendium.
Yeah.
You know, we have a very short sheet that we follow, and you developed it when you joined us, and we started having an actual quality team. So, and you're right. There's a lot that we uncover whenever we have our meetings, whenever we have our calibration sessions, and from there we figure out what's really important in every call.
That's
Right?
right.
What standard needs to be followed, and how do we score it? We even talk about the weights of every line item, right? Which part of the call is more important? Which elements of the call, if done right or done wrong, will impact the outcome of the call? And so we talk about how heavy the weight should be, and that's how we score them.
Yeah. We actually call it the feedback process. As I've mentioned earlier, we don't stop right after we trigger the submit button to get the score, right? We in the quality team ensures that the supervisor or our client success managers receives the feedback form, and we are very elaborate when it comes to giving comments as to why we gave that specific markdown, and we share
Right.
it to the coaches, and we also send emails to the VAs themselves so they'd
Yes.
be aware that a coaching will be done in the next 24 to 48 hours.
How important is coaching, Hilmer?
Well, actually, coaching is very important, mainly because, of course, the VA needs to receive the feedback, right? Or whatever she's done wrong or whatever he or she's done right. Providing a proper or structured coaching as well, because we follow the SMART action planning when it comes to providing feedback to our VAs. Doing that right means a more effective and more structured feedback process that we can give our VAs, making sure that she have acknowledged the action plans that she gave, and making sure that she will apply that in her future call.
100%. Again, focus on improvement. I mean, auditing them it is not enough, right? That's just the first part, basically. Knowing what the areas of improvement of our VAs is just the first step. If you don't provide the feedback, then nothing will change, right? So no progress will happen, no improvement, no development will happen. So yes, totally agree that it's important to have not just coaching, but a quality, structured, and intentional coaching to make sure that commitment is also there, right? To improve and adhere to the action plans that were recommended. I love that. Okay, and also I know I've been hearing the term ZTP. What is ZTP?
I can answer that. ZTP, of course, an acronym. We call it zero tolerance policy. Right? When we say zero, it's definitely zero. We don't want those things. We don't want our VAs to commit those mistakes because it could be business impacting. It could definitely cause our clients to be dissatisfied. It definitely causes dissatisfaction. From the way that we worked in the BPO industry before, ZTP is really a big deal when it comes to quality systems.
So can you give some examples of what ZTP type of incidents are?
Rudeness is one. Of course, that's a
Yes.
yes.
We don't tolerate rudeness,
Tolerate
definitely.
rudeness on the phones. Aside from that, avoidance. Yes,
Yes. Other one. Usually the one. And the typical normally, and it doesn't mean that you were flagged that there's a potential ZTP that you really did a ZTP, right? Or that you really did something that is unforgivable. There are other factors. I mean, rudeness is
yes.
pretty straightforward. If you're rude, you're rude. But if it's like call avoidance, depending on the situation, it can be straightforward that you really did avoid to get another call, or there may be some
That's
technical issues or
That's why
whatever.
we do have a due process in reviewing possible. That's why when we send it over to operations, we don't flag it as ZTP right away. We tag it as possible
Yes.
ZTP case. Just so we are giving the CSMs or the supervisor at least 72 hours to review or to check with the VA if that is definitely a valid ZTP.
Right.
If it is not, of course, we're not going to take it against the VA, but if it is, there's another process to follow.
Yes. So you guys, it's important to us that we represent well, like I mentioned earlier, because we are representing your business. Our VAs are representing your business. That's why, like what Rhea and Hilmer said, zero tolerance to things that may damage or impact your reputation, our reputation here in StartVirtual as well. We take that seriously. And ZTP, if proven that it was really done intentionally, can actually lead to termination of a contract for our virtual assistants. That's why as early as hiring them or the beginning stages of their training, we have what we call the QA talk.
Great talk. Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that we are telling them about, reminding them about, setting expectations about, because that could mean their employment here in StartVirtual, because we don't want them to experience having to explain themselves because of a potential ZTP violation. Can you talk more about our QA talk? Why do we do that?
So we do the QA talk, to make sure that our new VAs would understand how we grade them when it comes to them taking in calls. Aside from that, we also use our compendium when it comes to their certification. We make sure that early on their life with StartVirtual, they're already following our process.
Yes, like I said, we take quality seriously. So as early as during training, we already make sure that they are very familiar with the way that they're going to be assessed in a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And we make sure that they understand the compendium or the score form, because that's the standard that we will expect from them as well. If they are aware on what the right is versus what the wrong is, then definitely, hopefully as well, it's a will as well, right, to do the right thing. But they're well guided as early as the beginning of their journey here in StartVirtual. So we can guarantee that quality is always a very important and very critical gauge that we always use from training onwards up until their last day here in StartVirtual. Quality is Always look that.
Quality never stops.
Love that. All right. Now let's talk more about the admin VA side of our virtual assistant services. How do we help ensure quality of service on the admin side?
When it comes to our admin VAs, which we actually have a lot, right? What we merely focus on is how they do their deliverables, how they satisfy their clients in terms of them completing their day-to-day tasks. So what we do is, instead of digging into or taking a look at what the VA actually does, like, hey, may I see your calendar or may I see your project? What we do is that we involve the clients, right? We send them quality audit form, because who else would know if their VAs are doing great or good or just average but them, right? We want to make sure that the client would feel that their opinion is very important in gauging their VA's task or deliverables. So we update each and every form if need be, and then we send it on a weekly basis. And we make sure that we also follow up with the supervisor in times that we don't receive anything coming from the client. Just a temp check.
Love that. And I totally agree. I guess the only person who can tell whether they're satisfied or not with the outcome or the output is the client, right? Because they're the ones who, and the challenge would be that the task may change every time.
That's right.
So it's hard to really create a standard for changing tasks, unlike when the feedback would come from the client. That's why we also make sure that we frequently communicate with the clients. We make sure that we're all on the same page on what the outcome is that they're looking forward to and what success looks like. And then once the task is done, or while they're at it, we're getting feedback already, so that we can save time on rework, right? And we don't want to wait till the end of the month. And that's why there's CSMs as well. There's a point of contact that you can talk to if you are noticing that something needs to be corrected or improved in the admin tasks that your VAs are completing for you guys. So love that. Love that we still have a quality audit that we're doing through a form of a survey, kind of like a survey with a client.
It's true. And our form is actually pretty straightforward. We understand that our clients are very busy. So we want to make sure that once they click on the form, they just have to read a little and then they can simply answer, right? With how satisfied or even dissatisfied they are. They can easily rate their VAs.
Love it. And that's a lot of work that we're doing as well, right? From the audit, especially if you're auditing a cold call or an appointment setting VA, you're going to have to listen to multiple calls to see if there's any trending behavior. You're really gonna have to audit all of the tasks to see if it's done right and if it's done on time. And if you're a business owner and you will have to spend so much time in just watching over your VA, that's time wasted, time away from the more important aspects of the business, which is growing your sales, closing more deals maybe, and that's not worth your time. So just have someone do it as part of the task. So if you hire, may it be an admin VA or a cold calling VA, appointment setting VA, content creator, or bookkeeper even, do know that there's multiple layers of quality checks and quality audits that's happening to ensure that the work is done on time and done correctly. So that's what we can guarantee here in StartVirtual. On top of course, you have your support from your CSMs, SSMs, or the supervisor providing feedback, coaching, and all that. And our QAs are also making sure that the CSMs are doing their jobs, because part of that what they're doing is to audit the coaching. Can you tell us more about that, guys? The coaching compliance and the coaching quality.
We also audit coaching and CSM deliverables. That's actually the newest task that we have here in quality department. So we are very grateful that we're given a chance to be, to be no longer be a separate department from operations. It's like we're working as one. What we typically do is we make sure that our CSMs complete their deliverables on time. We were given their own compendium or guidelines on when should we check it, how often should the CSM do this, and that.
Right.
We're not just focusing on the VA's task, but also on our CSMs who takes care or who's actually our bridge
Yep.
between the clients.
And it's an important step because we're not just finding faults again or finding misses or things that were not accomplished, but we're also trying to figure out best practices from other CSMs
true.
that may work for other
Other
CSMs,
CSMs, yes.
or what challenges are the CSMs facing, hence they're not able to deliver on time or with quality, and help provide recommendations or solutions to addressing those. So all of these audits are, again, as what Ria said, the focus is for improvement. The focus is for making lives easier for everyone as well, and ensuring success. So yeah, that's really great. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for sharing a lot of this today. Only goes to show that there's a lot that you guys do from the VAs, regardless if they're from appointment setting or cold calling or admin, or you're even supporting bookkeeping now in some level. So it's not an easy task, and it can be tiring, it can be tedious, it can be challenging. Then it's gonna eat up a lot of your time for sure. But guys, you don't have to worry about that. You don't need to even worry about quality checks and quality audits, providing coaching and whatnot, because Start Virtual offers that as one whole package for you guys.
True.
We have our support team, like our QAs and our CSMs, to make sure that the VAs get supported and you guys get supported by our team as well. So thank you so much, guys. Again, Helmer, Ria, thanks for joining me here today. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of our Start Virtual podcast. And if you found this episode valuable, you know what to do. Subscribe, leave a review or comment, and of course, share it with someone who's building a team right now or who has a team right now. And if you're ready to hire a virtual assistant from Start Virtual, knowing as well that you have peace of mind that there's going to be some quality checks, quality audits, and multiple layers of support provided to you, then just go to our website, startvirtual.com. You'll find the button there to book a discovery call or book a consultation call, and schedule the earliest possible time you can discuss what your needs are and what success looks like to you with our client growth specialist. So thank you again, Ria and Helmer. Until next time, guys, keep it smart and scaling strong. Bye now.